How you going, guys? Just another update. I stripped the top arm and the old shock and everything out of here. I gave it another dose with the oven cleaner and gave it a bit of a pressure wash out in here, try and get the last of the gunge and stuff out. And I scraped got in there with a screwdriver and scraped the rest of the stuff out. That was all yesterday, and let it dry overnight. And I went through this morning and heated it up with a heat gun in there just to dry any air, the last bits of moisture in there, and gave it a blowout with compressed air. And I've just recently gave it a dose of spray on rust kill, and then I got an old brush and just brushed it out so it's not sort of runny and streaky. So I let that cure over the next few days, and then I might flick a little bit of primer in there. But when I pulled the front shocks out, they actually look like the original front shocks, which I was really quite surprised. These are Monroe made shock, made in South Australia, and I'm not sure if you can see this, but on here that says I assume this is the date mark, the 10th month of 66, and this car's a stop focusing on the background. The 10th month of 66. I'm pretty sure that's the date mark and when it was made. So if that's trying to correct, the car was made in I don't know, I presume it was built in 66, 67, anyway. That one was registered on the road here in New Zealand, early 66, early 67. So quite easily been built between that date and the end of 66. Yeah, who knows? It would have taken a few weeks to come over on the boat from Aussie. Well, unless it's a New Zealand assembled one. Actually, it is a New Zealand assembled, so the shocks probably come from Aussie. And I've cleaned up this top arm here. I pulled it off. I gave it a good wire brush with a rotary wire brush and scraped the last of the dirt and rust and bits and pieces out of there. Gave it a good dose of oven cleaner to get rid of all the residue and stuff like that. Let it soak for a couple of hours. Gave it a good pressure wash, and then I let it dry off overnight. Not last night, but I think the night before. And then I've given it a good dose again with a spray on rust kill, one-step rust kill, just to stop any other bits and rust, starting or any like a little bits of residue of rust that you can't get in. Like I'm not sandblasting this, so there's always going to be a little bit left there. So give them a good dose with rust kill to try and stop anything, and I'll leave that in the meantime, and then we'll find some good spray cans of chassis black. I could use my compressor and my spray gun. But I think for this, I'll find some real good quality rattle can like chassis black. That's good and hard, and it's going to last. It's going to get a good bond, and I'll give that a good spray up, and I'll do the rest with all the rest of the chassis, more suspension stuff. I'll strip the bottom arm out and the steering joints, and I'll clean them up. All the ball joints look like they're new, top and bottom. I'll have to see if I can find a boot for the other one, otherwise I'll have to replace one. And we'll go through and do all the chassis, all the steering components, and I'll check them all out. Could be new, something could be new. The control arm bushes in the front there are new. Somebody's put them in before I got it, but it's been sitting for a while. But they'll be fine. So we'll get some new shocks for it and clean this all up. So we're coming along slowly. So obviously this is, with that shock being original, it's a reasonably low mileage car. like it's done. It says on the speedo 40, almost 49,000 miles. Sure if you can see that, but it says 48,915. So it definitely hasn't done 48,000 miles, but it's probably done 148. Just with it being, with those original shocks in there, like there's no way it would have done 248,000 miles, not with the condition of those shocks. Like they still feel reasonable, like they're not great. Obviously they're 50 years old this year coming. So yeah. So yeah, I'd say it's probably only done 149,000 miles. So it's a reasonably low mileage car for its age, definitely. So yeah, like again, I'll strip this dash out eventually, and because it's got a bit of surface, it's sort of breaking through, like underneath the paint. This could have been touched up too at some stage. We'll never know. But I'll pull that out and we'll clean that up, strip it back, make it look nice and clean, repaint that. This plastic dashed around, I'll strip that off and clean that up too. Take these little chrome bits off, and we'll respray that. Like we'll try and find a nice sort of semi-metallic, sort of silvery grey, and we'll try and make that look as close as we can to what it would have been originally. Because yeah, obviously it has been sort of sprayed and touched up at some stage because there's overspray and shit on it. So some young fella at some stage that's had it before me, well, I think when they've tried to touch up some of the rust, just put bog in some of the silly little holes it had in it, instead of cutting a bit of rust out and put a wee bit of steel on. They've obviously flicked a bit of paint in along there and tried to make it look tidy, but well, they haven't really done any damage. But yeah, but we'll clean that all up. The door panels are in reasonable shape for its age. Okay, they're a little bit ripply. They probably could do with a good scrub. I did give them a scrub about 10 years ago when I first got it, but it's been in and out and it's getting a bit grubby again. But we'll give that a good clean up. I've got some armrests for it, which I've got to tidy up. They're not perfect, but hey, I'm not spending hundreds of dollars to buy new ones. We'll use the old ones in the meantime. Maybe at some point, later on, or I might get some new armrests for it. And hey, I could probably get some better door panels, but hey, these are the original ones. We'll give them a good scrub and tidy up, and they'll be fine. So yeah, that's sort of what we've been up to. As you can see, that's definitely like a reasonably recent new ball joint. Like it's been in there 10 years that I know of, but it hasn't been anywhere in the last 10 years, except for on its back of a trailer a few times. So like yeah, I think those ball joints will be fine. I'll reuse those in the meantime. These are once I get on the road, if I get 5 or 10 years out of them, I'll be happy. Saves me buying some new ones in the meantime. We'll check all the steering. Rob, we'll check all the steering bushes and ball joints and all that sort of stuff. And if any of them are a bit dicky, we'll replace them and give it all a good clean up. I'll pull that all off eventually and we'll clean it up and paint it all up so it's nice. Same with the steering box. I'm pretty sure that's if it's only done 148,000 miles, steering box will be pretty fine. We'll just, once we've got it on the road, we'll give it a bit of adjustment, take a little bit of a play out of it. The steering coupling joint in there, this whatever it is, it's fabricy sort of rubbery stuff. That's alright. Yeah, I'll replace that. I've seen them new. I think you can get like a sort of I don't think it's nylon thing, but it's something like that. I'll get one of those and we'll put that in there. Sorry, like I know it's nice and new. That's like, hey, that's probably, to be honest, it's probably in okay, fine shape. At the end of the day, it's probably not really worth pissing around with, but hey, like it's probably cheap insurance, we'll replace it, throw a new one on there, and then I know that's right, because that's the only link between your steering. So like that's 50 years, it's coming up 50 years old. So we'll replace that. Who knows how, might look okay, but who knows how rotten that is. We'll tidy that up. But yeah, that's what we've been up to. So over the next few weeks, we'll get this tidied up and decide what I'm going to do for paint colour. And we'll try and get these back guards sorted out. I want to get a bit more. I want to get some time and get it back on its wheels again. We'll concentrate on the front, and then we'll work on these back guards, get them pushed in back to where they should be instead of bulging out like that. And but this here is meant to be like that, but it's not meant to, that big hump in it. So we'll get that back in and sort that out. Shrink a bit of the metal if we have to, just to flatten it out as best we can, and then we'll run some filler through there, and hey, we'll get it pretty straight. Like at the end of the day, it's not going to be any bloody, $500,000 show car. It's only an old Valiant at the end of the day. Eventually it's going to be worth some good money. At the moment, tops, if it was on the road, it's probably worth, I don't know, 10 to 20 grand, I suppose, depending on what somebody's worth wanting to pay for it. That's sort of what they're going for, anywhere from sort of 10 to 20, depending on what sort of spec they are and how many Ks are on them and all the rest. Okay, it's not original, it hasn't got the original motor. Probably worth a bit more if it was fully original, but I'd never got the motor and the trans with it. So, yeah, no, she'll come up, should be pretty good. She's a good old solid car, basically, it's very minimal rust. I'll have a look at the bottom of this door. There's obviously something going on in here. There's a few. There's a little bit of something in there. We'll sort that out. That's minor. Might be something in here in the front too. It could be a little pinhole in here too somewhere. But hey, it's mainly original paint on there, so it's not going to be much. I've got the front guard sitting in there. Yeah. They're in here at the moment. I haven't done much with this since the other day, so I'm still waiting on my dad to get his new shed sorted out so he can get his MIG welder all set back up again and get a new gas bottle for it. So, get in there and fix this up. Actually, that's probably something I should do, is put some rust kill in there. But yeah, I'm going to have to try and do whether I get as much rust killing behind that on that brace panel that runs down the back of that guard. I'm going to have to try and get in there and get as much rust kill in there as I can to stop that, rotting out down there. Probably by the time I cut that little panel out of there, and I can probably drown as much as I can down through there. But it's the scaly stuff that, it's the worry. I'm not worried about the sort of the surfacey stuff, It's that scaly stuff, you got to get in, try and get it out and clean it out, but without actually pulling that panel right off and retaking it back on, which is a possibility, but sort of something I don't really want to get into too much if I can get away with it. But yeah, we'll get that sorted. And same with this one. This one isn't as bad. It's got that front bit there, the bottom of the wheel arch. There's a bit of bog in there, obviously. And it's a bit more solid in here. There's these few little pinholes. But hey, we'll fix that. A little bit of rust in there, but again, I reckon that's probably pinhole too, because that's still mainly the original paint. So that'll tidy up alright. It's that little hole on the top of the guard. There's a bit of bog in there, but it doesn't appear to be any holes. So I think it's had a little bit of accident damage at some stage, and somebody's put some filler on it. So yeah, we'll tidy that up. Yeah, it's just coming along. It all comes down to money and how much time you got to spend on it. It's Christmas time, so we haven't had You know, this is probably the first time I've had a reasonable amount of time to spend on it for quite a while. So yeah. Alrighty guys, so that's our update for the moment. So we'll keep going and yeah, hopefully give you another update in a I don't know, a week or so. See how we get on, see how much we do. Alrighty, cheers.